Hello from me, Lazarus. We continue with the third part of the sixth. A lesson from the Lazarus IDE course. So with the second part we ended up with the practical program. Now, this program is almost ready. It remains only to show how we can programmatically to modify the shape properties. For this purpose, close these forms and click of Unit 1 in the code editor. Then we click once on the close button. In fact, before that we change its title of enlarge. We click on it twice and we write the following in the procedure. Instead of form1.close we write the following code. Form1.height equals form1.height plus 3, form1.width equals form1.width plus 4. Which means that the height will be equal to itself plus 3. And the width will be equal to itself plus 4. So we keep the original ratio. Thus, with each press on the increase button, increase the height of the shape by 3 pixels. And the width of the shape by 4 pixels. Let's launch and see. How is this done? And here we see that every time the button is pressed, height and width are increased. And, if we now, at some point, press the Show Form 2 button, we see that she appears again in the center of the first shape. And one more thing remained. If we want, for example, in the form not to change its dimensions, then should in the border style property. Let's choose BS single. But we won't do that now. So, with that our program is ready. And it works correctly. He continues me on with third point, modal form. The modal form that is a form that is the only one currently active. That is, the focus should be only in her. By default when we create second form, it is not modal. Here is an example of how we can do it. Our second form to be modal? Quite simply. For this purpose, we open our project 3_form. Double click with the mouse on the Show Form 2 button. And in the discovered procedure, we write the following code. Form2.showModal. We compile and run. So, here's the format. And now if we click to the side, see what happens. Sound signal that you may not hear. But you see that it trembles and does not give us to click to the side, and until we close that form, there is nothing we can do. Next, fourth point from this tutorial is MDI form. MDI stands for Multiply Document Interface. That is, it is a form that is embedded in another form and cannot to move beyond the boundaries of the first. We will consider this in our example as we will make so that the second form to be nested in the main. For this purpose, we reopen our project. Double click on the Show Form 2 button. And in this procedure, instead of the previous code, we write the following code. I won't write it. I copied it beforehand. Through this code, a new form is created and transmitted. Control of the second form and it closes. That's what this code does in a nutshell. I save, compile, and run. Now if I click here, still nothing. Apparently it doesn't work. Because we need to do one more thing. Because this is how we are shaped. Pop in the invisible part of the screen. And so that it is not so, we will shout its creation procedure. As for the object in the Object Inspector, we go to the Events page. Only you have to. We work with the second form. Like we said, we go to the Events page. And there we find our procedure. On Create. After that, we click on the dots. And we write the following. Top equals 10. And on the bottom line, left equals 10. And after that, save, compile, and start the program. And this is what it looks like. The second form is displayed at a distance of 10 px from the top and 10 px from the left. And behold, that form can't get outside of the first form. So, that's it on that point. And the last one we'll look at here. But I will not make an example. These are the T-scroll bar element and the transparency property. T-scroll bar, this is a special scroll bar. We've seen these in text apps. When a site is not collected in its container, and then automatically a scroll bar like this appears. So we can see the whole text. In the Lazarus IDE it is identified as a separate component from the standard bar. It can also be used as some kind of scale or indicator to increase and decrease. Here is an example. We place two such elements on our form. As we have changed the second one, the kind property from SB horizontal to SB vertical. And this is what we see. Other commonly used properties are max and min, which set a maximum and minimum value depending on the position. We will set the horizontal bar. Other maximum value, 300. We will expand the form and we will change its color, and also we will place two labels in the middle, like we will associate them with the change of the two bars to show the change value of each bar. Besides these things, we will connect the change of the bandwidth, change the transparency of the shape. It is responsible for the transparency of the format. The alpha blend property, we'll turn it on so it's transparent. This property defaults to with a value of 255. And then the form is fully visible. So they should be scroll bars set to before that, we format the labels as on the first we write value, and on the second 0, 0. We also increase their font from the font property. This is what it looks like. Then we open the properties of the scroll bars, and we change the values of the max property to 255. And we change to and the value of the position property, which defines the initial position of the tape, also at 255. And finally we'll write the code for the event handler. For this purpose, mark the first bar. We go to the second page in Object Inspector, on the Events page, and click on the OnChange property. Select the button with the 3 dots. It automatically opens to us the procedure for handling this event. And write the following code there. On the first line, label 2.caption equals into str, scroll bar 1.position. And on the second line, form1.alphablend value equals scroll bar 1.position. The first row shows the change on the label according to the position of the tape, A. The second line shows the change of the transparency of the form. So, and this is what we see. When we smoothly move the bar, gradually the shape becomes more and more transparent. We repeat the same procedure and for the second lane. And here's what we see about her too. Here you can almost see the code, do. To that extent it becomes transparent. With this, our program is completely ready. And it works correctly. We will also save it as a project. That's all for this tutorial. Best regards.